Et la meilleure ennemie, c'est toi. Suis-moi. Oh, mais tu vas la fermer, oui? What? I'm practicing my French. Ah, bien sûr. Bonjour tout le monde, I'm Cassie, your French teacher, so you can discover France the French way. And now is the perfect time to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to learn new, effective, and yet fun ways to practice and learn French. Music is such a big part of our lives, right? Most of us, we listen to songs every day. So what I'm suggesting for today is to take that to our advantage. I'm going to give you my procedure, step by step, to efficiently learn French through songs. And there is a list of my favorite French songs of all times in the description, together with the Spotify playlist. It's all there. Alors t'es prêt? On y va. But before I give you my procedure, we're going to discuss why learning a language through music works so well. One of the best things to remember vocabulary and grammar patterns, etc., is actually repetition. So, for example, you've heard about flashcards, Anki cards, whatever, and sometimes I use them. Not as much as I should. Maybe it means it doesn't work that well. Anyway, and that's exactly what happens with songs. Repetition. So, because you're listening to a song several times and you hear the same words again and again and again, you're very likely to remember it. And if you're like me and you really enjoy singing out loud, not just in your head, though it's also nice, but you know, even if nobody's around, like it's fine, but just singing is great for pronunciation. And again, with repetition, you feel more confident, at ease, you get better and better. Words that you thought impossible to pronounce, they become easier to handle, and then you just stop thinking about them because yeah, it's fine, they're just in your brain, all good. Also, it is so low effort and chill and relaxing and stuff. Like, we've talked about it already. Sometimes I'm a lazy learner, right? I don't want to actively learn and be in my books or whatever. And music is perfect for that because you're just enjoying the time. Like, you go for a walk outside, you have your music on, and you just repeat the words, and that's a great way to practice without even realizing it. Like, we don't want to focus on that. We don't want to be actively working. No, lazy. And in my opinion, lazy people are also the most clever because we invent ways to do the minimum, the bare minimum. And we're very, very creative with that. I'm telling you. And last but not least, it is a great way to immerse yourself in the culture. Because you've heard that advice like 1,000 times. And I'm guilty of that too, because, well, it is a great way to learn a language, right? Immerse yourself. And through music, you can. You absolutely can. For example, when I want to really focus on Japanese or Spanish, which are the two languages I'm focusing on, then I just listen to music, which is kind of cheating for me, let's be honest. I'm a big fan of reggaeton and I love anime songs. Like openings from anime, I love that. And let me tell you, I even found music about anime in Spanish.
Acabar con la chica, ¿verdad? Sí.
I'm living my best life.
¿Cómo lo harás? Escucha. No saben de qué soy capaz. Si tengo todo a mi favor, seguro que muchos irán, pues la chica tiene su valor.
And I can pretend I'm studying. Yep. Ooh, and if you want recommendations from other learners, I'm happy to announce that French Quest, the community I launched a few months ago, is opening its door again in January. So you can already join the waitlist to have all the bonuses and information. First thing, probably the easiest, you just listen to the song. So you don't have the lyrics, nothing yet. Like, you're not looking at anything. And I'm the one telling you that. Even though I need to see, to watch, to read, to learn. But it's only the first step, okay? So it's pretty chill, pretty relaxing. You just focus on the sounds of the language, okay? And the rhythm. Like, just enjoy yourself. Because if you don't like the music, just move on. Like, just listen to something else, okay? Otherwise, it won't be fun for you and you won't learn. But yeah, just listen, you know, sing in the music, listen to the sounds, maybe the tone, maybe the rhythm. It's also important when it comes to speaking a language. And another thing important with listening is actually that you get more familiar with, well, what you're hearing, right? So at first, you know, it would just be like blah, 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 blah. You won't understand a thing. And then the more you listen, you will probably hear distinct words. Like maybe the third time you listen to the song, you will hear like, oh, arbre. And then, yeah, very bad example. Like who's talking about arbre in a song? I don't know, but let's say. And then, you know, maybe the fifth time you would listen to the song, same song, you would hear, ah, grand arbre. Okay, maybe you don't know what it means yet, it's fine, but you can already distinguish the words. They're not just like one big mush of sounds. Nope. And that's the first step. Okay, you've listened to the song a few times, like you start distinguishing a few words. Now it is time to actually read the lyrics while you're listening to the song. So you can use, for example, Spotify, like you have the feature, the option of watching the lyrics, like a karaoke. That's what I use most. But otherwise you have Genius, for example. Usually it's pretty good. And what you're doing, you're listening to the song and you try to follow along. So at first you may be a bit fast, you may skip a few lines, get lost, but you know, the more you repeat, the easier it will get. And that's how you start to connect the words and what you hear. It's crucial when you learn a language because that's something I've seen so often with my students, and I was also guilty of that when I learned Dutch. It's you read something and you learn the word and you think it sounds a certain way, but actually the way, you know, a native speaker would say that word is completely different. So when you hear the word, you just don't recognize it because what you have in your brain is different and yet the same. So we don't want that, and that's why I actually always recommend to start with pronunciation, especially when you start with French. So you connect word and sound. Okay, you've read the lyrics, you've listened to the song, I guess enough now. So either you can write down the lyrics and then study them, or just on Genius or something else. You do you, but you dissect those lyrics. And for that, I recommend that we actually use the same method as reading a book. Told you what to do in a previous video, but stay with me, you can watch it later. Okay, so you don't translate every word you don't know. Okay, first you read. Okay, try to recognize words that you're sure, okay, you know them. You will feel confident, like, yeah, I know that. Mm-hmm. Maybe you will start to understand what it is about, but keep in mind with songs sometimes it's a bit poetic, so it's difficult. Anyway, so first, words that you know. And then, instead of translating everything that you don't know, I recommend that you translate only words that are necessary for really understanding the whole story. Basically, words that will repeat themselves a lot. To translate these words, first, don't translate the entire sentence. That would be useless and you won't remember a thing. No, word by word. Only one word. You translate it, DeepL, Google Translate, but I do recommend reverso context. It's way better and you have it, I mean, as it says, in context. Way better for learning. And you can also try to recognize grammar patterns. Maybe grammar structures that you've seen already, but you're not really sure why they're here. And then you can use Hi Native to actually ask questions to people who do speak the language. Or you join my community and I will answer your questions. This step is important, but again, don't overdo it. Don't translate everything and don't try to remember everything. Here, we're just about recognizing, understanding. Okay, it is the first step. Don't try to really remember everything by heart, like, you know, having the list or Anki card or whatever. No, because you will listen to the song again. Now you know what it means. When you will hear the word again, you will recognize it, and with repetition, that's how you remember it. Again, we're lazy here. Don't overdo it. N'en fais pas trop. For this step, it's all about pronunciation, okay? So, you stop the music, because we really need to focus on your pronunciation, that's it. And you read the text, you read the lyrics out loud if possible. Well, first you do it in your head, so you're more familiar with it. Then out loud, you read the lyrics out loud. The first try, it probably will be terrible. You will be slow, you will wonder like, is it that or that? I don't know. But it's okay because it is the first try. Then you repeat. Again, repetition is actually key here. Repetition. La répétition. Okay? And when you feel confident, we go to the next step. So for me, it is the best part. It's when you sing along. So you put the music on, or back on, and you sing, well, of course you have the lyrics just in front of you, okay? And you sing. That's great for pronunciation, but also for the rhythm, the tone, etc. Because when you read without the music, it is very, very likely that you made a few mistakes here and there. And it's fine. These mistakes, they will be corrected by you singing with the singer or the music, going on. And that's when you will start remembering vocabulary. I'm telling you. This step, you can skip it, to be honest, but I personally love it. It is to learn the song by heart. There are languages that are harder for me to remember by heart. For example, Japanese, it is a nightmare. Spanish, okay. I've listened to so many Spanish songs that it's fine for me to remember. I probably don't even need all these steps to remember them. But for Japanese songs, for example, I do need to take time. So maybe it's going to take a week for me to remember the entire song. I don't know. Or maybe a month, and it's absolutely fine. But every line, every word that you learn by heart, you don't learn it as, oh, arbre, it means tree. Oh, beau, it means beautiful. No. Was it beau or grand that I said before? That's how bad I am with examples. Anyway, so no, you don't learn the vocabulary that way. What you learn is just a song that you want to have fun with, that you want to sing. Maybe to yourself, maybe to your friends. Who cares? So it's not the same context. You're learning by heart, but not the same way, not the same purpose. And that changes everything. Okay, with everything you've repeated and learned, etc., you've learned vocabulary, you've learned grammar structures, sentences structure, syntax, everything. So you will surely feel more confident when it comes to speaking in real life. Maybe you can actually challenge yourself, like you listen to the song again, can be a week from now, I don't know, and you spot one word. Okay, challenge yourself. Make a sentence with that one. And you will see, you will probably succeed. I'm sure. More than 100% sure. Or if you're in a conversation with someone and you forgot a word, I guess that if it was part of a song, the melody will come, slowly. And then increasing until you actually say the word. And also, you will be able to show off, because it's always cool to be able to sing in another language. Bit of a warning though, sometimes songs are a bit too poetic and we wouldn't use these words or these structures in real life, but it's okay, because even if you're mistaken, you're still able to convey a message. It's not like it would be a big mistake or anything. It may just be a bit odd. And also, there are songs that you may not understand, even though you understand the words. Put together, it may be hard to actually get the meaning of. And it's absolutely fine. It's just artistic. But still, the words, you will remember them way easier. And again, in a fun way. Now, I encourage you to go to the description, because you will find my favorite French songs. But I also want to know your favorite French song. And you can give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you want to discover other lazy habits, other ways to practice a language without really putting too much effort in it, I recommend you watch this video next. Donc à la semaine prochaine. Salut!